All righty.
Here we are, everybody. Welcome to a very special edition of BeanTown, Banter, and Bullshit tonight. Uh, I'm not even, look at, I'm the co host at this point. AJ Rivera is the host of this show. He's bringing fire guests every week. He's bringing owners. He's bringing, I can't even take credit anymore, AJ. So thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. And tonight we have, I called you today one of the cornerstones of rebuilding Worcester sports. You guys brought the Massachusetts Pirates to this city and have been successful. And I'm not going to say it's underrated because you guys have a really deep following. But let's build from here. You guys took home the championship last year. Jawad, I don't want to say your last name. Is it Yatim?
Your team, yeah, pretty close. Pretty not bad at
Yeah,
all, actually. Not bad at all.
I
That
didn't
was a
want to
good
hack
one.
it too bad. But
No, don't
man,
worry about it, man. That was a good job.
we appreciate you coming through tonight. Now, the other thing that I referenced today on the promo post is when we first started this whole thing, I had seen that AJ was with you guys and everything. I said, man, you think they would come on and chat with us? And he sends me this video and he says, you don't know about the Pirates owner. He's got hands. And proceed to send me the video. You guys doing pad work. It
And
was
that was
pretty
a long
sick
time
stuff.
ago too. I'd like to say I improved a little bit since then. So,
I dig it.
but no, it really just, I've been doing mitts for a long time, but I mean, it's really just trying to, you get a good sweat and get a good workout in, and I just enjoy it, man. I'm a fan of the sport, so it's a great workout, man. Just trying to cut down a little bit on the weight and just get in good shape and continue to improve. You know, if I'm going to do something, I want to be good at it. Regardless if I'm trying to do it, in an organized manner or not. I just want to be good at anything I do. So, I
Love
definitely
it.
try and improve. But yeah, it's a great workout, man. I've been, working with AJ for a long time. I worked out in the Boston area, Peter Welch's, worked out here in Worcester with AJ. I worked out with his father for a little while, Jose, and then, working with Rocky at times, so, just diversifying, the different hands that hold the mitts for me and just learning different things from different people. And, it's a lot of fun. I'm a fan of the sport and it's convenient when they can come through the office and get some work in. I don't have to go anywhere. We just clear the couches out and get some work in. So,
No
it's a good
doubt.
time.
Now my question is,
Yes, sir.
so this is I basically call what I've been doing with the Riveras. It's basically like I'm in boxing college because I was never, I couldn't call myself a huge fan if I'm not. And what I've learned over the past few years from a promoter point of view, from the things that AJ has gone through, with shows coming up, people, if if we have an opponent drop out for next month, are you ready to sub in?
I mean, I've always kind of thought about it. I feel like I'd have to lose some weight. I'd like to get under 200 pounds. I'm at like 220 right now. I don't know if I'd want to fight some of those heavyweights out there, but AJ said he'd schedule me a pretty favorable opponent. But
I love it.
I really have thought about it. Maybe just to get I mean, you still got those competitive juices flowing, so something to tickle that, and just go out there. I'm not a stranger to contact, and I don't mind it. Go out there have some fun. So maybe in the future, within the next year or so, maybe 18 months, I really just got to lose some weight. That's number one for me.
I
So.
say, I say, um, so far, definitely one of the more complete guys I do mitts with. Learns quick. That's the quarterback in him. This dude's used to reading playbooks and reading defenses and offenses, so he definitely catches on quick. Um, the hands are there. I'm putting him up against anyone, any owner or head coach in the NAL, IFL.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
come on now. That's not saying much now. I can beat them up for
hey,
sure. No offense,
no.
no
You know
offense,
what's
but
crazy too is? You know
you
what's
know,
crazy too is? I do mitts with some of the players. Not a single one has done the rounds consecutively and the amount of punches he throws per round. Like, he's the more in shape guy, and he's not even on the field.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, if you're not, I mean, you guys know, shit. I'm not an expert here, but if your body's not used to that kind of conditioning, that's not easy to do, So,
No, not
but
at
you've
all.
seen it, shit. You've seen us sparring in the office, moving the couches and throwing a little bit. So, we have fun here, man. We enjoy it. It's a good time,
I
and
tell you what, we
and
gotta catch him. We gotta catch him, not in season, because when I I don't know how many podcasts have I said it that this is one of like the hardest working guys that I know. Like, I remember out the mud year one. Just him. Not many. Usually, like a owner has one hat. Like, he's the owner. This dude is the owner, the scout, like, he was like running everything. So it'll probably be easier to catch him when the team's not in season. Because right now this dude in the office, after we get out of here, will be in the office all night, still doing things to improve the team. You know.
shit, you got. I definitely appreciate that. A lot of it was out of necessity because I had no choice. I mean, we had no choice. Literally, it's not a big off. I mean, it's we got a good office here, but the front office isn't big. Especially to start, it was very small. So you wear a lot of different hats, but at the same time, you're responsible for a multi-million-dollar operation. So you definitely don't want to fuck that up. That would be, pretty embarrassing for you and your family. So, all the pressure of that is definitely motivating, for you to get the job done, which we've done, but, there's always room for improvement. And, I mean, AJ's seen it since day one. He's been around, so he knows what it is. I've dug in his ass a little bit a couple times, especially on game days. So, but,
Hey,
hey,
you know what it is though is, and for me it's like, it you can't even, you gotta respect it. You gotta, because I relate to him on that same level on the boxing side. I'm running. I know how I am on fight night. I literally have told my uncle, leave me the fuck alone on fight night, and I would never say that to a family member, especially an uncle. But it's just like, shit gets, it's the trenches. So I definitely relate to him on certain. I think that's part of why we click too. I relate on what he's trying to do on an entrepreneur level, accomplishing the short term goals to get to the ultimate long term goal, things like that. Father son duo, um, and being the hands on guy. Um, Tell us a little bit about how you even started with football, Wad.
oh shit, man, this was long time ago. Shrewsbury Pop Warner. Back when they used to have Pop Warner. Back in Shrewsbury. So practicing at Coolidge School. And we actually had a pretty good squad back in the day. My class was pretty good. We were fortunate to have some good guys. Guys like Sean Louiso. Who ended up making it to the NFL, and a lot of different guys. Who were pretty good players at the high school level, and yeah, we had a good class. We went, undefeated our senior year, won a championship there, and we each went our separate ways. And yeah, the highest level I got to was arena football. So the league that we're in now, I played in it for a season, and then I went to China and played in China when the AFL, the Arena Football League, they put on a league out there in China, and I had a chance to go out there and play. So uh, and then started this bad boy up, and then obviously Sean did what he did, and we had some other good guys on the team. So we were all friends to start. I mean, you get involved, because you enjoy it. My father got me into the game. To be honest with you, he taking us to Patriots games when we were young and training camps, and we used to go to the practices in North Smithfield, Rhode Island, when they were practicing at Bryant back in the day. And yeah, always had a competitive bone in my body, so I just love to compete no matter what it is, whether it's football or dice, or anywhere, anything, you just want to compete, so that's what drives me today. I love competing, and lining up against you and beating you. That's the goal. So we've been fortunate here now. Here with the Pirates to win a lot. But each week is a new challenge. So you gotta reload and get back after it. The following week. So we got an important game next weekend out in South Dakota, and we just got to show up and keep grinding. So, but yeah, I mean the game's always been there. But it all starts with being competitive and that shit doesn't leave you just because you stop playing.
Well, oh yeah, no, definitely. I trust me. I'm at my shows thinking every show like, damn, do I got one more in me? Do I got one
Yes,
more
the
in
answer
me?
is yes.
Were you always a quarterback?
Um, yeah, I mean, back in Pop Warner, you play everything. But when I got to high school, I was actually a defensive end, and then I could always throw the ball, and then Coach Wallace, who was the varsity coach at the time, just pretty much pulled me aside, said I was playing quarterback. I ended up playing varsity my freshman year. Played a little bit of varsity. And then, yeah, started some games my sophomore year. And then, so I played, yeah, and then kind of took off from there. I'd say our junior year, we were okay. We're not really too good. But then senior year, we really came together. I went to a bunch of camps that summer and, improved dramatically. Came back and then, we did our thing. So then I went off. I started at the #2 prep school in the country at Milford Academy. And then, I went on to Coastal Carolina and transferred to a junior college and went to Bethune-Cookman down in Florida and then finished at a small school up here. I transferred way too fucking much. Um, but that, it is what it is. I ended up playing some professional football, which was always a goal of mine. Now, obviously, I didn't make it to the NFL, but I just love the game. Continue to play, and yeah, I'm happy to be doing what I'm doing today.
Do you think being owner gives you that same kind of competitive feeling it did when you were a player?
Um, yeah, it definitely feeds that competitive itch, that you have in you. I feel like obviously as a quarterback, you have a tremendous impact on the game. You touch the ball every play, so you got as big of as an impact as anybody out there. But I feel like at this position, I have more of an impact on the game than I've ever had in my life. Because I'm the one who's putting all the players on the field. I'm the one that's putting the coaching staff together. And that's just the football side. Never, let alone the whole business operations, game day operations, and sales, marketing, blah blah blah. But from a football standpoint, I mean, my hand is on everything that you see on Saturdays. From the players on the field to the coaches calling the plays. So, you definitely, that impact on the game is still there. And I definitely feel like when we lose, it's my fault. And it's not a good feeling. So you definitely try and avoid that as much as possible. But then, yeah, it all starts at the top, and then you try and evaluate, what the hell went wrong, and you start to identify those pieces, and then you start making moves, and you look to improve. So yeah, I
My
definitely
question
feel
is,
like I.
how hard is it to be the owner and just leave it to the coach? Like, I guess the Jerry Jones question. Like, how do you
Yeah,
you
I'm
have
definitely
the
not Robert
authority?
Kraft. I'll tell you that much. I mean, obviously, from take the money out of it. And obviously, we're nobody. We're nothing like them. But from a structural standpoint, from an involvement standpoint, I'd say I'm more like a Jerry Jones in the sense where he's very involved with personnel. Um, I've heard stories, from players of ours who played for him that he would dictate some of the game plan, to be honest with you, so I don't go that far. I mean, I do have my input on different things that I see on film and whatnot, and different things that I think we could attack and not attack, um, but essentially, I mean, yeah, I'm very involved. I'm not sitting in the box, with some popcorn and just watching the game, through a glass. I'm down there on the sideline, and I'm very involved. And my biggest thing for the sideline is just enthusiasm and over communication. So, all right, boss. Let's see. If I'm not seeing that on the sideline, then I'm gonna make sure that's happening. So, that's all I ask for on game day. Just enthusiasm and over communication, and that's about it. So, but you're always evaluating. You're evaluating, what they're doing on the field, how they're communicating off the field, how they carry themselves on game day. How motivated they are on game day. The energy they bring, and it's a lot of different components. And yeah, so you know, yeah, no, I'm very involved. There's no doubt about it. For me, if the Pirates are gonna suck, I want it to be all my fault. You know what I'm saying? Because I can live with that. I can live with that. I
say
can't
that
live with.
I say that about my shows. I say that like the most frustrating thing about this shit is things that are beyond my control. Like if a fight falls out, let it be because I did something, I fucked something up, not because a fighter didn't get his medicals or missed weight.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shit that can go wrong. But you can live with it if it's your fault. I can live with that. I can't live with us not working out because of somebody else. I would lose it at that point. I would be so mad. So if we go down the shitter, it's definitely gonna be my fault. I can promise you that much.
I tell you what, you have to have that same level of like determination and resilience that a player needs to have in order to succeed. I feel like from what I've witnessed and what I've been around, I feel like him as an owner has to have just as much, if not more, determination and resilience than the players because like like you see me, Mike, leading up to these shows, fights falling out, I'm scrambling last minute for these opponents. Like this dude weekly has got to find guys weekly from all around the world to fill voids that need to be filled. Like it's ever changing and there's so many different ways, at least in our league, that why a player needs to be replaced. It's not just, oh, because he's playing like shit. It's not just because he's injured. He could get picked up by the CFL. He could get picked up by the USFL. He could picked up by the NFL. That's three ways right there. Aside from being injured and playing like shit, that's five right there. Five different ways you may have to fill a void weekly. And it's hard when, like, usually at this point in the season, leading up to playoffs, you got your core. I've seen this guy bring in dogs from in a blink of an eye out of nowhere. So how do you do that? How do you your eye for talent's insane. We already know that, but what do you just like on the phone all day with these guys?
Well, no, I mean, I definitely appreciate that, but it's just staying aggressive, even when you don't have to be aggressive. It's not staying content, not settling for what you have. If you feel like there's someone out there that could improve your team, even though your team might not need to improve at that time. Well, you always need to improve, but if there's a specific position group that you feel is doing their job, but you feel like someone can come in and be better, then even if you don't bring them in right away, you'll touch base with them, you'll get in their ear, you'll start to build relationships with them, at least start the conversation. And then if you're ever ready to pull the trigger, I mean, it's easy. So, you got to have your short list ready, at all times. You got to, especially this year. I mean, we've been battling injuries all year. We've been maxed out on our short-term IR all season. We've had a few guys on long-term, like you said, we've had probably upwards of around 13 guys get signed by the CFL or the USFL throughout the season. And it might not sound like a lot of guys, but it's a 25-man roster. So, I mean, that's you're talking, almost 50% of your roster right there that you have to replace. And, And the toughest thing about this too, from a personnel standpoint, I don't think there's any other sport. I don't think there's any other personnel position in minor league sports as hard as this, because when, say, you're a minor league, whatever, hockey, baseball, whatever, if the parent company or the team or the parent team or whatever, if they pick up one of your players, they're going to send someone down, right? If somebody picks up one of your guys, shit, fuck you, go find somebody, and you know, and you better hope it's not on a Tuesday or Wednesday, because they cut off transactions 48 hours before, game day. So, in season, everything is a lot more of a time, done in a timely manner. Off season, obviously, you got a little more time. Preseason, you got a little more time. But in season, I mean, shit, last year, 2 days before our first playoff game, our kicker gets signed by the CFL, Winnipeg. Okay, so then now we don't have a kicker. All right, so we have to play Josh Gable, who we took off IR, and he was kicking with his left leg, because we decided that was a better option than bringing in somebody else. I mean, Josh is a pretty remarkable kicker. He's actually ambidextrous, which is kind of unbelievable. So I mean, we got through it. He did what he had to do. But just situations like that. It's not like anybody was like, hey, we're about to sign a kicker. You know what? You take this kicker. We got a guy for you. So that's kind of the tough part about it, but yeah, you're just constantly staying aggressive, constantly monitoring those transaction lists, seeing who's a free agent, who's not, and just consistently, or constantly, reaching out, communicating. I'm on my phone all the time, just blowing guys up, having conversations, staying on guys. A lot of the guys you see here are guys that initially didn't want to come, but you just stay on them, stay on them, stay on them. And then, when the time lines up, right for both sides, and then they'll come on board. But, it definitely takes, a few conversations, a little bit of time to get some of these guys here.
I think I seen last year, was it Garrett Hartley, the kicker last playoffs? Was that who it was?
Yeah.
We had to bring him.
On like a day's notice or something like that?
Yeah, we signed him right before the game you went to. We signed him right before the second round of the playoffs, and so he finished off the season with us, and yeah, so, but we've had a good amount of guys with NFL experience, a lot of them, some bigger names, some not bigger names, but, we have a lot of guys here who have, had that shield on their jerseys. So, yeah, we've had some good talent here. There's no doubt about it.
Which position do you think is adapts the easiest from the NFL?
From the outdoor game?
Like if they come from the NFL and they're now on the Pirates, which position do you think has an easier time adapting?
I would say, the positions at the line of scrimmage, whether it's offensive line, defensive line, a lot of the same, schematically, it's a lot more simple here, in terms of the line of scrimmage. Really, the whole game is a lot simpler schematically than the outdoor game. But, from an adjustment standpoint, I mean, the guys that we think, we can plug and play pretty easily are the guys at the line of scrimmage. Obviously, a quarterback takes time to adjust. A receiver takes time to adjust to the new dimensions and the spacing and the timing of the game. The secondary takes time to adjust. Now you're dealing with high motion receivers, guys coming at you, attacking the line full speed, with a head start. They don't do that outdoors, so, I would say D-line and offensive line, probably the guys that we feel most comfortable just playing right away,
What gave you the idea? So you played arena ball. What gave you the idea? Like, was it always a goal for you to be like, I want to own a team one day, or did it just like randomly kind of just pop up on you? Like, what happened, or what was going through your mind that you were like, I'm gonna own a team?
Well, I started asking questions in China. I mean, it's always been like a dream of mine to run a team. To have my own team, I just love competing. I love putting my team out there and playing your team and beating you, So that's always something I've always dreamed about. So, when I was in China, I started asking questions to ownership. What kind of logistically and operationally, how does it work? Um, and then when I played in the IFL, I looked at the owners I had when I was a player, and I was like, well, if you can own a team, we could definitely own a team. So, I mean, we took that philosophy over here. We got familiarity with the market. We're from here. We got familiarity with the building. That we're the only team in New England. There's some exclusivity there, in the sense that we pretty much own New England, in terms of arena football, of course. And yeah, we just figured we'd give it a shot. There was a team that was here. They were called the New England Surge. And the guy who started the team, he like, I used to work out with him. He used to train me or whatnot. So I was there from the very start to the very end. I used to practice with them when I was in high school, and so that was really my first experience with arena football. I thought it was pretty cool. Um, Ultimately it didn't work out, but it was a cool experience, and yeah, so just and a lot of this too is it's not for the money. I mean, it's definitely if you're using arena football to put food on your plate, you're gonna go starving. So it's certainly not for that. I'm trying to build a resume here. I'm trying to get it. Yeah, no, absolutely not. But yeah, I'm trying to build a resume. I'm trying to get experience within the industry, within the game, make connections, you know, uh, create a presence of my own and within the sport and the game, and hopefully use it to propel me to other opportunities. So, that's really more the focus on it, and yeah, so
it kind of compares to the 4 and 6 round fighters that kind of take no purse just to kind of get the wins in and keep active and build the record. So then it pays off when they're 15, 20 and 0, and now they're getting that big TV fight. It's kind of similar to that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're
I was gonna say what would you say is, aside from, we talked about guys that could get taken at any point in time, what would you say is the biggest adversity of owning arena football team?
um I'd say the hardest part of this is just trying to convince people how they should spend their money, because that's the toughest thing to do. That's the toughest thing to do, is for me to tell you how that you should spend your money on us, you know, especially coming off COVID, especially blah, blah. So, um, that's certainly the hardest part. The football part's actually easy. It's not easy, but it's easier. I have more familiarity with it. It comes naturally to me. Um, but yeah, telling people how to spend their money and convincing them that they should spend it on the Pirates, that's certainly the toughest part. Um, and just building that fan base, it's a very competitive market. If you can do it here, you can really do it anywhere. I mean, the easy way out would just to be go. We could take this team to the middle of nowhere. Be the only show in town, and just benefit from just the lack of entertainment presence within the market. But we're dead smack in the middle of a very competitive market. I mean, I don't know how many professional sports teams are within an hour of here. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's over 10.
I mean,
There's no doubt about it.
We got one down the street.
Yeah, you got two. You got three total in Worcester. I mean, you got four out there in the Boston area. I mean, including Foxborough, and actually five. I mean, actually six. I mean, with the Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, Revolution, the Boston Pride, the lacrosse team, the Cannons. Who else you got out there?
Bravehearts.
Then you got us three. You got us, and then
the Railers.
Well, even and then you got Providence. Providence isn't too far, so you got the Providence Bruins. Yeah, so I mean, you definitely got some, you got a lot of competition out here. And then not even that, if you're playing during the summertime, you're competing against Cape Cod, you're competing against the beach, you're competing against vacations,
Yeah.
you're competing against just being outside in general, when we all crave to be outside because you're inside fucking, I don't know how many months out of the year, so as soon as you get a chance to go outside, that's where you're trying to be. So, that's definitely an added wrinkle in it all. But it
That's
is
why
what it
my
is, man.
that's
You
why
keep
my next
pushing.
show is on a Friday instead of a Saturday, because the very next day I'm gonna go from being at the Palladium on Friday to the very next day being at the DCU Center and working. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. So it's a busy, and then that's not even including all the boxing events, all the fighting events that are around. It's a competitive market, but it makes you better at what you do. It makes you better at what you do, and like I said, man, if you could do it here, you could do it anywhere. So.
what has
Yeah.
been the best part? I would assume obviously being a champion, but aside from being a champion, what has been the most memorable moment or best part of this whole experience?
Um, Outside of the championship, I'd say one of the coolest parts was I'd say like the first year, you know, we have like a heave ho chant, and just seeing the fans like buy into it, is pretty cool. Just to see them buy into something that you started from scratch, is pretty cool. To see them buy into the team, to see them like excited about the team, to see their enthusiasm about the team. I mean, I'd say that's pretty cool. Knowing that you started something that people are buying into and everything. So just to see the fans' enthusiasm, when it comes to the Pirates is pretty cool. So I mean, we're definitely continuing to build our fan base. I mean, the people that are at the games, they got a lot of energy, and we appreciate it. Um, Obviously you like more, so you'd like more, but that's what we're working towards, and but yeah, I'd say just seeing fans buy into your product, buy into the team, and get excited when the team wins. And I like seeing fans get mad at us when we lose. I like seeing fans, get on our ass when we lose. I like that. At least it shows that they care. Reading some of these Facebook comments, I mean, everybody says they don't, but it's hard to not see it. You see people questioning your decisions and stuff like that. It's cool. I mean, at least they give a damn. So, we appreciate that. But yeah, I'd say that's the coolest part, obviously outside of a championship.
Now I love the fact that it's like, now you guys are the Massachusetts Pirates, but all that comes to mind, I think, from people around here is Worcester. You guys
Yeah.
play out of here, and the network that's building, I think, between everybody. You got the Riveras, you got Pirates, you got the Woo Sox, the Bravehearts, everything. But I like how people are starting to really localize. And I guess my point here is your connection with Mike Devish, Diggy Bonds. With you guys
Yeah.
bringing him on, I love the localness of it all. Like, I love people banding together. I think that right there in itself is gonna bring you more traffic. You know what I mean? Genius, and I hope it continues to build. But Worcester's really moving in a good direction, I believe, sports wise, marketing wise. And we just came out of COVID, like you were mentioning. I
Teamwork
think,
wise too.
yep,
I
yep,
feel like um, businesses, athletes, musicians, clothing people. I feel like Worcester was. I mean, we still have a lot of work to do, but I felt like more people cared about what was on the next person's plate, competing with the next person, instead of like, hey, you know, you sing, I rap, we could collab, or my apparel company does shirts, your apparel company does shoes, we can collab. Like, there wasn't enough collab in the city. There wasn't enough just coming together, and I feel like we're seeing a lot more of that now.
yep, no doubt. And I spoke with Donnie Picaro from the Bravehearts, And I think you guys and maybe the Railers too had, crossover promos and everything. And I think that's great. That's a direction I think we need to keep going, fill these stands. But you're right. I like that you said that, because it's hard to convince people how to spend their money. That right there that's what it is. You have to convince people to spend their money and build our community.
I'll tell you what, we were blessed to have such a great show in Springfield, because that was the first show that we had that many sponsors. There was not a damn sponsor in Springfield, but we killed it. We killed it out there. The school loved it. They want us back over there. So, that was dope. As opposed to over here in Worcester, we have a lot more. So networking is definitely
I mean, there's just probably more familiarity with it, and absolutely. I mean, you got no choice. At the end of the day, you got no choice. So, but we enjoy working with everybody here. Hopefully they enjoy working with us, and that's what it is. That's what it is. At the end of the day, those are the people that are hopefully going to support your business, and you try to do the same with them, and you just keep it going. But yeah, I mean, Worcester's got a lot of momentum, now, and I'd say the spirit of the city is as high as it's ever been, but yeah, we just hope to be a part of it, and just continue to bring a winning product to the city, and have something that they're proud to have. So
I love it. And
where do you see the team? I was saying, where do you see the team in about 2 to 4 years?
Hopefully with more people in the stands and winning more ball games. That's what it is. I can't speak for more than. Truthfully, I don't look further past. I don't look at more. I don't look past next week. I don't do that. I just don't do it. So hopefully next week we beat Sioux Falls, and then after that we beat Iowa. But 2 to 4 years down the road, I can't even say, to be honest with you. I don't know.
What does it take to have
hopefully winning.
What does it take to have a fan base like some of these others? Like Jacksonville was a place that was bumping. Arizona's a place that was bumping. What does it take to? Is it just because they got seniority? Like, what is?
No, I would say history has a lot to do with it. History is huge, man. History and tradition. That's the most invaluable thing you can have as an organization. I mean, you can't buy it. You can't. You can't sell it. You can't buy it. You can't. It just takes time. And those teams that you mentioned. Arizona's been around since I was born, damn near, and Jacksonville's been around since over a decade, so even more than that, they've been around a while. Orlando's been around for a long time. Sioux Falls been around for a long time. Green Bay's been around for a long time. Quad City's been around, so that history and that tradition, the kids that are coming to our games today, when they become adults and they start bringing their kids, that's when you start seeing the crowds that's when you start seeing the crowds like Arizona's and the Jacksonvilles, where we're playing in front of a fucking 10,000 people, in an arena. It looks like an NBA game, so that's that tradition, that history is really when you start really building that, that's when you're going to get those crowds. A lot of the teams that have been around for as long as us, I mean, they're not doing any better than we are. It's that history is important, so but at the same time, the market that you're in, they got to be able to provide the bare necessities, for you to have a chance, whether that's media, whether that's, the city just, being on board with your product and buying into what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to dig too far into that, but yeah.
Now, my question is, now in the beginning of the year, I was covering baseball. I cover my high school, South High. We all know that. So the Bravehearts, the Blue Sox, they have they've had the games played on that field. They let the high school kids have a game or two on there. My question is, do you guys have any plans, or do you connect with any of the local like youth teams, like the Worcester Cowboys, or do you have plans to do that? Or I think it's great. The Cowboys this week have a Super Bowl game, the 10 and under team.
But
how do the Pirates connect with them?
Yeah, so I mean, we've done a program with the Worcester Cowboys in the past. I think we've done a Player of the Week with them and gave them free tickets to our games. We've hosted them on different group events. We've had players actually coach. I know Marty Gilliard, who was a player of ours for a little while. He actually became a coach for one of the teams, and we've sent guys to practices. We've hosted youth camps. We actually just had youth night the other night, youth sports night the other night. And, we had a nice discount for those organizations. So, we definitely try and get involved as much as we can. It takes two to tango.
Yep.
So, obviously we want to get involved, but, and I'm not talking about the Worcester program, just, youth football in general. We've reached out to so many programs. Some want to work with us, some don't. Some are interested in some of our ideas, some aren't. Some just want money, some don't. It's just a mixed bag, but we've definitely tried to get involved before, and whether it's, players helping out at practices or hooking the teams up with tickets. I know for the Cowboys, I'm pretty sure, we paid for a bunch of the players to actually travel down to their championship one year. It might have been how they go to Florida.
Yep.
I think they go to Florida for the national tournament or whatnot. I know we paid for a lot of kids to go down there because, transportation was pretty costly. So just small things like that. Not everything we do, we blast out, and
right.
to the eyes and ears. A lot of it we just do and kind of keep it pushing. But, we try and do what we can. And if we can get something done, then we'll do it. If it's a little more than we can handle at the time, then we'll just have to work around it. But we definitely try and get involved.
They shoot a tango. I like that. I like it. I think we got some big sports coming up this year with football. Angelo LaRose from South High broke the state record last year as a junior, and he's coming back this year. Unreal.
What does he play?
South High. South High.
What position?
What position? Oh, wow. He broke the state rushing record?
He almost had 3,000 yards, which has never been done in Massachusetts. And he fell, I think, like less than 100 short. And he got hurt.
Oh, wow.
He got hurt in the last game, or he would have done it. This kid was putting up
He's a ball player.
250, 300 yards a game. And it was amazing.
Jeez.
Like the first football video I ever took was him. The first sports video I ever took was him. And it was the easiest thing and misleading because all I had to do was wait in the end zone. And he ran like I was at a practice today. The Central Mass All-Stars is coming up Friday night for the Super Bowl.
Where are they playing that at?
That's up in Leominster. I don't want to misname the field, but that's going to be Friday night. Doyle Field, 7 o'clock on Friday night.
It's just Central Mass now?
Central Mass, and I believe they're playing Northern Mass. So
they got Northern Mass now?
Yep, it was Leominster, Fitchburg, Gardner. I think they said Neshoba. But what was amazing is you got all these coaches that have regular jobs. They're coaching all these other kids and loving it, dude. Like they weren't inconvenienced. They've been doing it for the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks out of their summer to do it. And these kids, some of them are playing next year at college. Some of them, it's their last game ever. So, it's amazing. And I give a lot of props to the coaches that really put their heart into it,
I mean, a lot of that's – wait, Bob LaRose, where is he from?
South High, baby. All Colonels. His kid is Angelo.
Is that his son?
That's his son. And
oh, wow.
Incredible, dude.
That kid must be getting some serious attention then, I'd imagine, right?
He has
How's he not at a prep school if he almost ran for 3,000 yards? That's insane.
So Bob loves South High. This is all neighborhood grown. Like he had a chance to go to a different school. Angelo did, and he said, "Nope, I want to go to South and play with my dad." Now he doesn't treat him like his son.
Absolutely.
He does not treat him on that field. He knows what he's got, but he would rather his kid not even run the ball. He thinks he's better at defense, but he has what he has. You would never know that it's his kid though, by watching him coach the way he is. He treats every other kid on the team like his son. Let's put it that way. We can put it in reverse like that. But oh yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I mean, yeah.
During the day, he's a firefighter. I mean, and when he leaves that job, he goes there and does that. And he's coached the Cowboys. He's coached all the way up the ladder. What's interesting is going to be how he goes about the offers that Angelo's getting. He's already getting offers. I think it's Ivy League, but he cares more still. He broke the record last year for yards, and Bob still is about academics. Set it straight. Ivy League, he's been getting, I think, Ivy League offers. I want to see the kid play for Nebraska, for Christ's sake. Let's go.
It'd be a great school for him.
You never know.
That run
what I mean?
first.
I think the problem.
Does BC have any championships?
I don't think so. Maybe hoops next year.
Football, they don't have any like bowls like Bama and them schools do.
No.
Well, they got a lot of bowl wins. I know that. I mean, when they had Tom O'Brien, they won a ridiculous amount of bowl games in a row. As far as like national championships, did they not win one with Doug Flutie?
I was just gonna say Doug Flutie is the only piece of BC history football that I know really like from way back.
Well, Matt Ryan was a great. They were number 2 in the country at the time. His starting center played for us for 2 years. Thomas Claiborne. He was on that team when they were number 2 in the country. I mean, we got a kid.
It'd be nice if
Lucas Dennis.
If our colleges started performing like our pro teams.
I mean, recruiting. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to recruiting, I mean, BC is such a tough school academically. It's it's tough to get some of those guys in there. When you have to have a certain grade point average and a certain SAT scores and all that. So, but yeah, I mean, those schools down south, they're tough to compete with, man. They're that SEC is a different world, and some of those other schools just have a little more pizzazz to them, in terms of what they can offer recruiting wise. But I think the NIL definitely helps, some of these programs out in the sense that, if they got the right connections, if they can put the right deals together, I mean, you could definitely entice somebody to come to your school. I mean, your coach is a big deal. I mean, look at Jackson State. I mean, Deion Sanders alone has turned around that whole program. They got the number 1 recruit in the country, damn near, to come to their school. And they're not even a FBS school. They're an FCS school. So, I mean, a lot of those things. I'm shocked Florida State hasn't tried to hire him. Yeah, if I was Florida State, I'd be on the phone ASAP, trying to get him as my head coach, especially being an alum there. And, I'm sure he didn't graduate, or maybe he did. I have no idea. But obviously being one of their biggest, former players and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, your coach and what you have to offer in terms of facilities and getting to the next level and now with the NIL, what kind of money can you really put together for some of these guys? And, all that plays a role. And, obviously academics plays a part in it. So BC definitely, I mean, UMass, that's a tough job there if they're trying to compete with some of these, Power 5 conference schools or whatnot. But, yeah, I mean, we'll see. Definitely BC's got a nice program. They got a nice quarterback, Djokovic, I believe is his name, and got a good running back. And they got a good team. They're definitely competitive. So, you definitely root for them. Being the hometown team and everything, and yeah.
Basketball, we got the Langfords, Junior, and
wait,
the Langford brothers.
Who's that?
They're from
Who's
here. They're
that?
from Worcester. They're at BC together.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't. I didn't. I wasn't. I've been so lost in this Pirates world that I don't know a lot of what's going on outside of it. I just haven't been paying too much attention. But no, that's dope.
Junior,
That's dope.
he made himself eligible for the draft. He went and worked out with the Celtics, and then
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
he ended up coming back out, and he's gonna go play. His brother has one more year left because I think he redshirted or the transfer portal thing from Providence, whatever. But he has one more year left, so he's going back to play with his brother for that last year, and no harm done. Make yourself eligible again next year. But he already got looks. His name's already out there, and we wish them luck. My cohort,
Most
Demar.
definitely.
Yep. So
Most
Worcester's on the
definitely.
map.
Best of luck.
Worcester is
we're
definitely
wishing.
on the map.
You're always rooting for him. Always. Even you got some guys in the league. Whether it's Ifatu Melifonwu, who's making making a nice presence for himself with the Lions, or Isaac Idiom, who's been in the league now for a few years. There's no doubt. And you got guys from surrounding areas too that have been pretty good. I mean, Quiddy Payne from Rhode Island. He's on the verge of being a star in the NFL. I'd say from a football standpoint, locally, it's really picking up. Oh wow, my bad. I'm getting a cramp. Oh yeah, I just finished the workout. Yeah, live cramp. There you go. I'm sure the first maybe. I don't know.
How'd you get into boxing? Tell us that.
Me, I just did it, as a workout. Plus, I don't know. I love the strategic, aspect to the game. I love how it's so strategic. I mean, yeah, when you're inside and you're obviously going at it, brawling and whatnot, it can become chaotic. But just everybody, it seems like the top guys in the game, they all have a plan. They all try and execute their plan. I think it's very strategic, very organized, and that's what I look for. In anything, to me, that's the most attractive thing when it comes to sports and what I tend to be entertained by. What I like to watch. I like to watch organization. I like to watch strategy. I like to watch, thinking, just, I like to see people think. I like to, so for me, that's important. I like to see, a game plan being executed, a chess match, so to speak, but what got me into boxing, I don't know. I mean, I was a big Prince Nassim Muhammad fan back in the day. Is that right? Yeah. Big. Yeah, Ahmed. Yeah. I was a big fan of him back in the day, and then I don't know. I mean, I've always enjoyed it from afar. I'd say
he's like 200 pounds.
As time went, yeah, he got kind of big. But I don't know. I mean, I can't say I'm the most knowledgeable person on. I'm not a big, from a historian standpoint. I can't name everybody that's been a big fighter or whatnot. But I mean, I just enjoyed it, man. I just enjoy the sport. Especially more nowadays than I did in the past, and yeah, I mean, I don't really know how it started. It started really as a workout. I just wanted to stay in shape. I know, it helped from a torque perspective. When you're talking about your core and you're talking about torque, being able to throw the ball, shoulder strength, just staying in shape. I mean, that's initially why I started doing it, but then I started to love it and stayed pretty consistent with it ever since. And yeah, you enjoy it. I'd say it's my third favorite sport behind, football and basketball, is boxing for sure. It's not even a question. So, but yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say I know more than other people. I just enjoy watching it.
You're a fan that loves the sport and you do it.
AJ, hit him with the Messi midway.
Messi midway. See, the thing about it is, for Messi midway, it'd be like, which owner in the league would you want to beat football wise? I won't even go boxing because he's beating all of them. Like, which owner do you love to give it to? Or which head coach do you love to give it to? Usually, Messi midway, I'll ask a fighter to call out a local fighter and a national fighter. Who at a local level would you want to fight, and who at a national level would you want to fight? So for you, it would be which coach do you love to beat? Which owner do you just love to beat?
How big is the guy from Frisco?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, we've had I'd say our biggest rivals in this league, thus far have been Arizona and Frisco. So anytime you can beat Kevin Guy or anytime you can beat, Billy Beck and that group, it's a good feeling. When Spokane was around, I love playing against Sam Adams, who's a very good friend of mine. That's my guy. So, I love competing against him. We'd always have our shit talk back and forth. We'd put a bottle of wine on the game, or he likes to bet root beer, so but yeah, I'd say Frisco, Arizona, those are the two teams, two coaches, that I love to compete against. And we do find ourselves, in the same boat at the end of the year, trying to attain the same goals. So, it becomes very competitive, but, the league is very, the parity in the league is great now. I mean, you got a team that was 1-15 last year that's, in first place right now. So,
Crazy.
And then, you got new organizations like Las Vegas, who are pretty good. And yeah, it's a competitive league, but yeah, I would say Arizona, Frisco, no doubt about it.
Love it.
Anyone before we wrap up? Anyone you want to shout out? Any sponsors you want to give love to? Anything?
I mean, all our sponsors are great. Phoenix Communications has been such a great sponsor for us. Such great people over there, great company to work for. I know they're always recruiting employees. So if you're looking for a job, make sure to reach out to Phoenix Communications. They do a great job there. Bud Light, Michelob Ultra Light, quality beverage, that whole distribution group there is amazing. Golf, obviously, Gulf Oil. If you're going to get some gas, make sure to stop at Golf. And we got so many that are great. Cross Insurance, Centron Energy, Enzo Motoring. If you got any kind of, detailing needs, you want to get some rims, you want to get your windows tinted, you want to soup up the car a little bit, go definitely step on down to Enzo's and yeah, I mean, Stewart Health, they've been such awesome partners for us, whether it's St. Elizabeth Hospital out in Brighton or, Boston Sports Performance, Wellesley, Dr. Gill and Paula and Dr. Soria, all of them have been so great to work with. So we got a lot of great partners, but yeah, we appreciate all of them, most definitely.
It's crazy. I never ever heard of Phoenix Communications until their logo was on the field. And now every day I see like a van or a truck. Phoenix, like I feel
yeah, they're huge.
Now that I noticed them, obviously because it's on the field, I was always like, "What's Phoenix Communications?" Driving to work, coming back from work now, a work van, a work truck. I'm like, "Oh shit, these people are out here."
Oh yeah, they're the cream of the crop of what they do. Mocking them, they get it, fired up over there. They're working hard and they're great people. So, definitely like them. They're awesome.
What time's the game this Saturday? Let the fans know where they can tune in at.
Shit, nowhere. We got a bye week.
Oh yeah, shit. We're on a bye week.
I'm messing with you. No, next week. Next week we got a game on Sioux Falls, Saturday night. I believe East Coast time. It's gonna be 8 p.m. You could always catch our games on YouTube. Home games, you can catch us on NESN, rebroadcasted throughout the week. We had 3 airings this past week on NESN, so make sure to check us out there. But you could always catch us on YouTube. But our next game is next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So against Sioux Falls, it's a big one. It really is. They're right behind us in the standings, and we might be a game or two, probably a couple games away from clinching. So, definitely trying to get the job done.
The next home game, July 16th. That's the last home game of the season, so get your tickets.
Yep.
Yeah, last regular season home game of the season. Hopefully we'll host a playoff game and see what we can do there. So, we'll
Love it.
definitely continue to work hard and hopefully we're competing for another championship this year.
Love it. I see it. I see it coming. AJ.
Shit, hopefully, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I definitely I appreciate you guys, having me on board and having me on the show. I appreciate it, man. It was great being here and definitely hope to I'm sure I'll see you guys down the road.
You know you will. We appreciate you coming through, man. And good luck, Sioux Falls. Good luck at the end of the season.
Thank
AJ,
you very much.
You
appreciate it.
What was that?
Anything you want to add?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I love it.
Shout out to my guy Jawad. Shout out to the Mass Pirates. They need your support just as much as when I'm on here doing these podcasts. Shamrock Sports needs the support. Rivera Promotion needs the support. We work hard to deliver the best possible entertainment and shows that we could give you guys.
So, it's the truth.
Absolutely.
Very
Absolutely.
Much the truth,
most definitely.
We're all in it together.
I'll be seeing you soon, AJ. I hope to see you again. Most definitely, man. And make sure you take care, all right?
You know it. Guys, have a great night.
Take it easy, fellas.